Okay, here I have my E-Flite Edge that I got from Model Airplane News to do a review on. I'm going to show you some of the review upgrades that I think are necessary that really help this plane shine. The first thing is putting the GWS 7035 prop on. That's definitely one of the best upgrades you can do. The stock prop is very flexible and breakable, very brittle. This will give you much more performance. Just take the old stock prop off. Take your nut, put it right in the front of the hub. It actually fits just right in there. You actually reverse the nut around and then just spin it on. But I'll show you how to do that with the cowl on later. One of the other things I definitely recommend is I just took a little hot glue and added it right in there. But be sure you're pulling your motor while you're doing this, so it keeps the right thrust angle. If you just gob a bunch of glue in there while you're not pulling on the motor, you're gonna have some weird thrust angles while you're flying, and it's not gonna fly right. So you're gonna want to be sure to keep pulling on this while you're adding glue in there. So if you put your cowl on and your spinner back plate, just spin it until you finally meet the motor. Now see how there's these two spinner mounting screw prongs there? Put all the way back to the far back one. That way you have more room it'll help you when you're trying to tighten it. So what I do is I just take a screwdriver, stick it in there, but be sure not to damage the coils. I hold the end bell with this while I tighten the prop so it doesn't spin. So I just put that in there instead of trying to use the pliers, and I found that it works well enough for flying. See, I just hold it in there, got it all tight, and then you're just gonna need to trim your spinner a little bit so it fits on, just a little bit. Be sure to use a sharp X-Acto knife, because if it's dull, it'll be a pain in the butt. It doesn't work very well. Another thing I recommend for this plane is getting longer arms for the elevator. The rudder I didn't find necessary because I have plenty of rudder throw with a stock arm, and it works significantly in the air. What I got here is HS 55 servo arms. Actually got the E-Flite ones, the E-Flite compatible ones. That really helped here, because I get much more throw, and I get 4 of them in a pack. So I don't have to buy the stock HS 55 arms and only get one long arm in the whole set. But if you have some lying around, that's really helpful also. One thing I don't like about this plane is how soft the foam is. As you can see, it gets pretty dented up. It is really durable though. I've nosed it over a couple times going pretty fast, got too low to the ground. I like how I can see it in the air. That's really helpful because it's a pretty big contrast between the front and the back. Another thing that I changed about this was I moved the ESC down in this little area down. I just pushed it in right there and routed the wires up into my battery tray there. Put it right up there and put my wire through there. One thing I did notice is that it gets very hot just sitting on static. Just the internal BEC must be working pretty hard. But once you get airflow going over that, it's much better. The stock place was right in there, right there, and there is no airflow going in there whatsoever, except for a little bit right there, but that's not nearly enough. This is a lot more. It really, I noticed a little more power actually, but it might just be me. One thing about this GWS prop is that it takes less energy to get more power. There's more static thrust with less amps and less watts than the stock prop. But yeah, anybody who, for just throwing around in the front yard or really going full throttle at the park, this is a great plane. If you wanted to, for the 3D, the really hardcore 3D flyers, or just the relaxing park flyer, anybody would love this plane.